Pizza located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown,
including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheWelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at CheWelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
102.7 FM, KCHW, Chewelah.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. Just as Americans hit the road this summer, nationwide pump prices are set to spike. AAA says pump prices are likely to climb to the highest since the summer of 2022 to an average of $4 a gallon across the country. The current national average is around $3.53 a gallon. In Chewelah, prices at the pump are just over $4 a gallon already. For the second year in a row, consumers are facing sticker shock before Easter and Passover as egg prices are near historic highs. One major culprit is avian flu. Governor Inslee has signed a slew of bills strengthening gun laws across the state. In a push to combat gun violence, Inslee has signed 4 gun bills into law, including restrictions on firearm dealers, a ban on carrying guns in libraries and transit, and one that requires gun owners to report missing or stolen firearms to police within 24 hours. 2 types of Puget Sound orcas could be designated as new species. Until now, killer whales have just been thought to be one species with many different types. But after decades of work, scientists have determined the differences between 2 types of orcas in the Salish Sea are so large, they ought to be designated as separate species altogether. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie. True. Yep. Turn back now. If you know what's good for you.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Good morning. Welcome to the Thursday KCHW Morning Show. It is myself, Chuck Ritchie, and Scott Allen. How you doing this morning, Scott?
I'm doing good, Chuck. Thank you very much. And thanks, everybody, for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
All right. Did that streamer stay up, or did it break anything?
No, it's good. We're good. It just crashed momentarily, and we're back on. Before the show even started.
So we're broadcasting on YouTube and Twitch and our website at kchw.org, northernlightspublicradio.com, Facebook, and, of course, on the radio on 102.7 FM. And everything looks good at the tower today.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work trying to get that stuff up and going and running smooth. It's been kind of frustrating.
It is. It's kind of weird. And people, you experience this on a different level with maybe your home computer and stuff. But sometimes something just gets a gremlin.
Yeah.
For no reason. And me and Chuck, and mainly Chuck, if he takes off his hat, have been pulling out our hairs trying to figure out what's causing it. And it's been a little like a mental nightmare, but we've got some cool tools we found. One of them was like that Google internet just tracker, which will count how many times your internet goes down and what your latency is and your jitter. Yeah. And apparently me and Chuck have lots of jitter.
Too much coffee. Too much coffee. It had the obviously the going off the air intermittently is frustrating, but the rest of it's kind of like a fun puzzle. There's a part to it that's weirdly sort of masochistically enjoyable.
But once you figure it out, it feels kind of good. You're like, oh, we conquered that one, and all that kind of stuff. All right, I took off the sign that said "Turn back now." It's all the warning you're going to get about today's show.
If you know what's good for you, you'll just turn off the radio now.
Yeah. No, we
No,
don't
don't
want you
do
to do
that.
that.
Don't do that.
49 for a high today with mixed clouds and sun in Chihuahua. Scattered thunderstorms as well. It's a potpourri of weather.
Yeah.
There you go. 49 for the high. Winds to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain today, 40%. That's kind of crazy with all that stuff just twirling around and sunshine. 37 tonight, cloudy skies. Then we'll work our way toward the weekend, Easter, and, of course, a little spring break for the kids going on. No school today. 53 for Friday, 32 for an overnight low. Now, morning clouds, but then it's going to get sunny. In the morning, you do have a 20% chance of precip. That leads into a mostly sunny Saturday, which is awesome for the Easter egg hunt, and relatively warm, 57 and 33 for the high and low. Add that to Sunday with a mostly sunny day and a high of 61. Overnight low of 36. Monday right now looking at 66 and 40 with partly cloudy skies. Get this, next Tuesday, forecast, mostly sunny, 70. Woo! Wow, that's break out the shorts and tank top weather.
I wonder if this is going to be our real spring or if we're going to have a third spring this year.
It comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes. Looking at the extended forecast, looks like you're going to have seasonally normable temperatures after that. Mid 50s, pretty much for the average, mid 50s to 60 degrees then for the next 8 days after that. But yeah, through after today, through Tuesday, pretty darn nice.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure if I'm wanting the 70 or wanting to put the heat off a little bit longer. I mean, 70 is just right. But, you know what happens after 70?
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweaty.
Yeah.
Well, and then you don't want to have another summer like we did a couple years ago where we were already in the hundreds by the end of June. That's not good. So
Right.
So keep that rain coming every few days. One of the things I saw this morning, Chuck, on our prep sheet was a website called Days Since, and that's days since the last incident on planet Earth.
Oh.
I decided to click on it. We've had 0 days since an earthquake. A magnitude 1.6 earthquake happened at Seven Trees, California, about 25 minutes ago. Let's see what else. 0 days since we had a solar flare. There was a class M7 solar flare 8 hours ago.
Wow.
Don't know what that means. Sounds scary, though.
That's what happened. I was wondering.
Yeah. That's what keeps throwing us off the air.
Yeah.
All right. A day since a magnitude 6.0 earthquake, 2. Last one was in the Vanuatu region, wherever that is, on March 26th. You know where the Vanuatu region is?
I do not. I wanted to go there, but something in the back of my head told me Vanuatu.
I was just looking at the screen capture, and man, my head is big. Let's shrink that a little bit. There we go. That looks a little better. It's like this giant, what did they call it? Max Headroom back in the 80s, early 90s?
Yeah.
All right. Days since an interplanetary shock.
What is that?
It's been 4. The last interplanetary shock was detected on March 24th. Not quite sure what that is either. All right. There is a link, though, so I'll open that while we talk about geomagnetic storms, which are different than solar flares. Last one detected 4 days ago.
Oh.
Also, 4 days ago, a second strong geomagnetic storm. A severe one 4 days ago as well. Let's see, going down a little bit. Days since a volcanic eruption, 26.
Oh, hey, that's not bad, right?
That's not bad at all.
That's bad.
That was a Fernandina eruption in Ecuador on March 2nd. A day since a big earthquake, a 7.0 magnitude, has been 66, and that happened at Icol, China. Sorry, I had to pause to pronounce that. Okay. And a tsunami 87 days ago on the Honshu West Coast, back in January 1st. Category 5 hurricane, 158 days. That was Hurricane Otis back in October 22 of 2023.
Yeah, we could do without the hurricanes.
Yeah. Days since me or Chuck have tripped, 4.
Oh. Oh, I hate to break it to you, Scott. That was this morning.
You tripped this morning.
I didn't fall.
Did you?
No, I didn't fall.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I didn't fall, but does tripping over the dog count? Because that's mostly a daily occurrence.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially the little one that likes to just hang out around your feet, especially in the kitchen.
Oh, I hate that. It's like cats. They want to make you fall.
They do.
All right. Some other Earth news. One day over the next year or two, we have to make an adjustment to time. All right. So what you've heard, we all know and argue about daylight savings time. Well, everyone in the world is going to lose a second. Exactly when this is going to happen is influenced by humans, according to a new study, as polar ice melting is altering the Earth's rotation and changing time itself. So we've lost a second. They're not sure when they're going to add it back in. This whole time thing, I guess, is really, really important how we keep it synced up.
Yeah.
And as you know, in your computers, they like will go into that government site called NIST, and keep your computer on time. One of the things they were talking about in the news is this huge problem with Russia arming satellites and the potential for space-based warfare with satellites. Is if they take out our GPS satellites, we're going to lose all of that. Now, the company that runs NIST for the government says they have a plan, but they need money to put it in. China has already done this. If you take out China's GPS satellites, they have a whole on-ground system that will still work. But America does not. And they say we're really hanging out there. It could cripple the economy if our GPS satellites were taken out because so much stuff runs on that. So,
Scott, don't tell anybody. They're going to hear you, Scott.
I think they already know.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Earlier this month, a sudden atmospheric warming event where the stratosphere warmed up 90 degrees has made the polar vortex start spinning backwards. And it's causing a huge ozone spike over the Arctic. And they're saying it's happened before. So it's not the first time. They don't know how long it'll last, and it impacts global weather with the last time a major freeze up throughout the Midwest. But we've heard about this with the ocean currents maybe switching and stuff. A major polar vortex spinning backwards. So
well, you know what I'm getting out of the thing before that with all the time is we're time lords now. We can control the time. That's amazing. Where's my TARDIS?
Yeah, I wish I had that song. Have you ever heard that song?
Which one?
Rockin' the TARDIS?
No.
It's pretty good. It's like a 90s dance tune.
Oh, I like it. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Let's see. Polar vortex, moving on. They're saying that help from some of these space problems will be the new quantum computers they're building. And they say that it'll protect satellite attacks. Right now, they've had this problem in Ukraine, where Russia will target a satellite and hit it with a strong signal of data, random data, just to disorient the satellite. And they say the whole new range of quantum computers are coming out are going to solve this problem because they are so fast, no one will be able to disable them unless they take it out with a missile.
I got 99 problems, but space ain't one.
It's hard to think about what's going on up there, isn't it?
Yeah, right?
It's really hard. It's really hard. Or to be concerned about it.
Right. I guess that kind of stuff our satellites and stuff we can control somewhat, but space itself, space is going to do what space is going to do.
Keeping up with science right now and the microplastic thing. Scientists have found evidence now of microplastics seeping through the soil and actually contaminating pristine archaeological remains that had never been discovered before.
Wow.
So basically saying, because of rain washing it through the soil, it's getting everywhere on the planet. It's in everything. So
that's crazy. It's everywhere.
All right. All that science, what does it mean? Well, to the Republican-controlled state of Florida, it means absolutely nothing. They are erasing the words climate change, global warming, and green from almost all of their laws.
You have got to be kidding me.
I am not kidding.
Holy cow.
And this is the state that's going to sink into the ocean in the next 20 years.
Right.
So,
yeah, they're like at the highest risk from all these effects. And one of the worst causes of it with all that tanning and hairspray and
So
Wow.
Ron DeSantis is actually the lead ostrich. So everyone else will be following him and sticking their head in the sand. Thank you.
There you go. The sand that, by the way, is full of microplastics.
He didn't do well in his presidential bid. Can he be governor again, or is his term limit up there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know,
I
but
think I have a feeling even if it's not, they're going to make a big change in Florida. I just have a feeling.
A change for the better or a change for the worse? Because that could go either way. It's Florida.
I don't know. Have you watched Ron DeSantis? I don't. You'd be a hard challenge to do a little less. All right, just a few more news stories before we get into the fun stuff, the bits and breaks, Chuck. Britney Spears changed her name secretly.
She did.
She did. Zyla Marie River Red.
Is this a true story?
It is a true story.
Okay.
So Zyla is Xila, and I'm guessing that's how you'd pronounce it, Zyla.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And today, people are worried about her again because she posted, "Since I changed my name to Zyla, I'm having a hard time remembering to speak English."
What?
Doesn't say what she's speaking. It just says, "I'm actually having." Oh no, it's not speaking. A hard time understanding English.
Interesting.
What did they do to her?
I don't. I kind of. It's kind of sad, and it's kind of you hear all the people that she's crazy and they don't like her and stuff, but she didn't make herself like this. This was all of the pressure and the
Parenting and Nickelodeon or something.
Yeah, and having half the country like despising you as a child, that's got to be rough. And going on social media and bad mouthing you, and you don't have the maturity to handle it. And she was never really allowed to grow up.
And what they put on TV, and I think she's kind of stuck there because the behavior is very much a preteen.
Yeah,
like she got stuck there.
Well,
I mean that's what 12-year-old kids. That's the big thing right now is changing your name.
Yeah.
I mean, for whatever reason, it's a big thing, and she's 42.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still doing this crazy stuff. So,
well, and what, they started sexualizing her at what, like 12, 13, 14, something like that.
Yes.
It's like, man, people can't grow up like that and expect them to be normal adults.
All right, a couple more stories, just headlines. They pretty much sum it all up. I don't like doing these, but horrible this morning. 4 dead, 7 injured in a stabbing rampage in a several block area of Rockford, Illinois. No reason for it. Just whoever he saw, he ran up and stabbed. A couple people tried to help people that were getting stabbed, got stabbed themselves. That's unfolding right now. Still trying to also get a couple people out of the river after the bridge in Baltimore. Have you watched the video on that, Chuck?
It is absolutely insane. That thing just went down like a pile of loose matchsticks.
It almost looked like it was made of rubber.
Yeah.
The way it fell. And when I saw that, I thought, why did they build a bridge that couldn't take, 1 or 2 piers being busted out of it? Because when you look at, let's say, what's going on with Ukraine and Russia and in Crimea, that bridge there, they keep attacking it, but they blow up a section, and just that section is broken, and then they fix it, and they got to blow it up again. It's not like the whole bridge crumbles. There has to be a huge flaw in bridge design that if one pillar goes, the whole thing falls like a rubber band.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Look at something.
there wasn't even a delay. I mean, that boat touched that pillar, and the whole thing just whoosh, was in the water.
I would say based on that thing was going to come down regardless of that boat hitting it.
Yeah.
If it was that sensitive, could a big storm have done it? A pile of logs? I don't know. It's just kind of spooky that I realize it's a giant tanker filled with cargo, but at the same time, it took out the whole bridge. Kind of scary.
In a second.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the very first pig kidney transplant has been put into a human for the very first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And successful?
So far, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Have we tried putting a human kidney into a pig is the question. These are the hard questions we want to know, Scott.
That's right. I'm hoping it was somebody who had a love of bacon. Is that wrong?
Change their name to Chris. Chris
A
P.
new
Bacon.
book out today. Named a what?
They changed their name to Chris. Chris P. Bacon.
That'd be funny. Yeah. All right. A new book out today. Donald Trump biographer Tim O'Brien laying bare the facade of the former president, he says, as a business guru. He was on MSNBC's Dateline last night and shared some clips out of the casino. He reflected on the former president's years-long practice of stripping average folks of their paychecks after the New York Times reported that more than $100 million of Trump's legal fees had been paid from money fundraised off his peddling of 2020 election lies. Mm-hmm. All right. He also, another one of his claims, the four-time indicted presumptive GOP nominee's Art of the Deal book was meant to be a Bible about how to be successful in business, when in the real world, he's a serial bankruptcy artist, and then goes on to list all of his bankruptcies.
Mm-hmm. So speaking
he
of...
says,
sorry,
say that again? No,
I was going to say, speaking of Trump books, you've heard about his latest book sales venture, the Gold Gilded Bible?
Yeah, Trump's Bible.
You know,
$59.99.
Yeah, you know, I read it. I read a story, and it might actually get him into a little bit of a trouble. It's a thinly veiled way to get around our election laws for churches. That churches aren't allowed to contribute. So what they're doing is they're selling these Bibles in churches that are then going to Trump's campaign.
That would violate your status as a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's potentially a loophole around it because the church isn't directly giving money, but they are stocking and distributing copies of this book, which in itself, to rebrand the Bible, resell it as a profitable venture for a political campaign. If you are a religious person, what about this is acceptable? Isn't that itself kind of blasphemy to do something like this? I don't get it, I guess.
Liz Cheney, I think, pretty much summed it up as well, pretty well, as she took one of the Bibles and then she started quoting things about adultery out of it.
He doesn't know. He's never read it.
You know, since it's his Bible, I would think there's a lot of stuff retracted about adultery and theft and stealing, and probably all just blacked out.
Well, you know, there's all the classic. There's the Old Testament, the King James version, and now we have the God Bless America version.
Oh, where's my drum roll? All right. Our writer goes on to say Trump presented himself on the NBC reality show The Apprentice as an entrepreneurial guru to the masses and the hardest working corporate executive in America, when in fact he's lazy, plays golf most of the time, and after meeting him, I can tell you he's particularly not that bright.
You know, I used to watch The Apprentice, particularly the Celebrity Apprentice, and and one of the things I would always get frustrated with the show is people would do things during the competition, and he clearly was not paying any attention ever to what was happening with the people that were a part of his show. He would show up on the day of the judging and kind of go off, you go home, you're fired. You know, he would make choices based on who he liked, or, you know, things would happen that obviously would get anybody fired in a job during the course of their, you know, sort of going around these competitions. And he didn't care. He didn't know. He didn't bother to even look at clips or figure out what was happening. And that was one of the biggest frustrations in the show. I loved watching the celebrities do some of the challenges. But watching his reaction come on was always like, watch the show, dude. What are you doing?
I'll just do one more comment.
Okay.
He said Trump later on monetized his presidency, whether it was putting people in hotels near the White House or now, in a really grotesque way, taking campaign finance donations and using it to pay his personal legal bills. Mm-hmm. Stuff half of us already knew, I guess.
Right. I mean,
all right. Quick news headlines, just a few of them. Got some sports news, stuff like that. Let's see. A new measure. White House announced this week that it's requiring federal agencies using artificial intelligence to adopt concrete safeguards by December 1st. Measure aims to protect Americans' rights and mitigate the risks of algorithmic.
You got this. You got this.
Algorithmic.
Algorithm.
I think I
there
did.
you go. There you go.
Yeah. It's hard first thing in the morning. Discrimination, offered transparency, insurance safety as government expands AI use. It's so scary. Safeguards would put in place for common AI tools like airport facial recognition and platforms that determine mortgages and home insurance. All right. Efforts to regulate AI in the U.S. have largely taken place at state levels, but federal legislation is now in the pipeline to try and protect us.
Oh.
Let's see. NCAA said attendance for the first two rounds of the 2024 women's basketball tournament exceeded 292,000, shattering last year's record of nearly 232,000 fans. It's really growing.
It is.
For the women's basketball. Some games have had more attendance for the women's games than the men's.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen reports that the men's games actually had a lower than normal attendance, and the women's games attendance are skyrocketing. So...
All right. If you're flying to any of the states, including Maine, that are going to have totality for the eclipse, FFA has warned a statement for travelers: be prepared for flight delays and limited parking on April 7th to the 10th due to the travel upticks around spring break and the April 8th eclipse.
The path of totality.
We'll stop right at your airport. I'd leave early.
Right?
All right, on Hulu, the new World War II limited series We Were the Lucky Ones premieres today. It's also Major League Baseball opening day with games starting at 1:10 Eastern on Bally Sports. The NCAA men's tournament, Arizona and Clemson, kick off the Sweet 16 at 7:09 p.m. Eastern time on CBS. And it says read Chuck's horoscope.
Oh.
Chuck's horoscope for today. Oh, it's gone.
Oh, no.
There it is.
Okay.
Chuck, today you might find yourself leading a parade of ducks. Yes, literally ducks. Embrace your new feathery followers and lead them to greatness, or at least the nearest pond.
Oh, that's just a Thursday. That happens all the time. You'd be surprised.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Let's before we get to bits and breaks, let's do a few events. I know we have some, and I'll hit today. Of course, we've got our food bank open from 10 to 2. Then in that very same building, it's the senior center from 2:30 to 4:30. It's your chance to get your line dancing on. They say it's a guaranteed good time. Line dancing today at the senior center, 2:30 to 4:30. Plus, it's great exercise.
You know, and it is actually fun. Winterfest, they came out and did line dancing in the street with the bands, and man, so many people jumped in. The whole street was full of people line dancing. They even got me out there. It was a kick. It was fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chocolate line dancing.
Well, Brad got me out there.
Really?
Yeah. He came. I was back. I was up on the stage by the sound booth, and he drug me out. I didn't have a choice. So thank you for that, Brad. So
glad it wasn't me. I'm so awkward. I can't do like line dancing.
Oh, you should have seen me, Scott. It was pretty bad. I'm not a dancer.
A couple events for Saturday. Do you happen to have those up?
I do. So on Saturday is the Farmers Market Volunteer Drive. This is a meeting. Oops, it's of course thinking. So this is going to be at the Abundant Life Fellowship Church at 10 a.m. It's called the Roots meeting. And this is their sort of annual kickoff meeting. They're going to talk about what they have planned for the year. If you want to be a volunteer, if you want to be a vendor, or just find out what's going on at the Friday market, you can show up to that meeting. They're going to, like I said, explore everything that's happening and look for volunteers and people to take part of the farmers market and meet the new managers. There's a younger couple that's managing the farmers market this year. I met them over the weekend, and they're a lovely couple, and I kind of talking about their ideas and stuff, and I'm really looking forward to see what they're doing.
I'm curious. The farmers market's got to be coming up maybe on like 14 years, something. And all the awards they've won, it's pretty cool. They've got a new theme, and it's called Our Roots Run Deep, which is perfect for a farmers market.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I know the Creative District just got a grant to put $50,000 into the Friday market area. Part of that's going to include, like a land acknowledgement and a sculpture garden for rotational sculpture features, a sitting wall, which can also double as a small stage presentation area, updated electrical, the beginning of a few of the actual concrete pads for vendors. that'll be stamped with tribal art from some artists from the tribe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. And then one of their new managers is a gifted grant writer, and given that they are a farmers market, they have access to FDA funds. So this will be that'll be the sort of kickstart some improvements to the area, and if all goes well, that might even be a drop in the bucket compared to the improvements going to be made in the park over there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So good stuff going on.
All right.
And then
one more, I think, for Saturday.
Yeah, it's the Kiwanis Easter egg hunt. That's going to be at the Snyder Field. I believe the Snyder Field is that one over there on the left as you head out of town, correct?
Correct.
I've never been to any local games, and I apologize for that.
Oh no, that's up at the high school.
Oh,
the high school football and track. It's the high school football and track. Well, no, maybe you're right. The high school and track fields. Yeah, it is the one going out of town.
We should know this stuff before we talk about it on the radio. I'm sorry, but yeah, I do believe that's Snyder Field. I haven't been to a lot of local sporting events, so sorry about that. Yeah, that starts
Way to throw yourself under the bus.
I know. I need to. I will start this summer. That's my goal. I'm going to start at least hit a couple football games or maybe some track and field events, something like that. That'll be fun.
Okay.
So it's 11 a.m. That is, again, at Snyder Field. The ages are 0 to 4, 5 to 7, and 8 to 12. They're going to be going in different age groups at different times. So they say to come early to find your child's age group before they get started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to cover from the community calendar? I think that gets us through the weekend, besides Doug McQuain doing his jam at Fired Up Pizza on Sunday at 4.
And I know on Sunday there's a couple of different brunches going on. So
and that weather on Sunday is going to be perfect if you're doing a sunrise service for Easter or something.
Oh, yeah.
The daytime high of 66. It'll be and sunny skies. It'll be a beautiful morning for that. So
there you
go.
Well, no, that's right. The Easter egg. I was going to say, and for the Easter egg hunt, but that's Saturday, not.
And then great weather
Sunday.
Saturday too. So not quite as warm. I think daytime high is 60. Still going to make for good events this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And all the people doing Easter egg hunts at home with their kids. I mean, the snow's all gone. The grass is turning green. The flowers are blooming. It's going to be a great day for it.
All right. Let's move on then to bits and breaks. And Chuck's going to kick it off with a quick joke.
That's right. Scott, I do have this joke that you wrote for me, but I was trying to come up with some musical puns for the day, and I couldn't. I couldn't come up with any. I tried, I really tried to come up with some, but they all fell flat. I thought of, maybe 2 or 3 Motown puns, 4 tops. But no, 4 tops. I don't know. Never mind. All right, I'm just going to go on to the joke. That was bad.
It's a work in progress.
Is the 4 tops joke too old for you, Scott?
Yeah, it is.
Is it before your time?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
No, I got it. I got it. It just wasn't funny.
No, it really wasn't. I think it was in the delivery.
Sorry.
All right. So a famous scientist developed a formula to bring statues to life. He went to a local park to try it out on a statue of Ulysses S. Grant. And after applying the formula, General Grant began to move and was soon completely alive. The scientist asked him, "What's the first thing you'll do, General?" He asked while drawing his pistol, "I'm going to kill about 1 million pigeons." That's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
It's a big one today. It's 8. Count them, 8 things you didn't know yesterday, Chuck.
Wow.
World's largest producer of vanilla is Madagascar. Produces 500,000 tons of vanilla beans per year.
Wow. I know that's where most of it comes from. That or Mexico, right?
I don't know. I don't track where my vanilla comes from. It's something I take horribly for granted, and I need to quit.
We in our house, we are very picky about our vanilla extract.
Really?
Yeah. No, if the brand and type that we like isn't available, we will research to find out which ones that are available are the best ones. And
wow,
it's a weird thing.
I didn't know there was a difference between. I thought they were all just disgusting.
You don't drink them straight, Scott.
Oh,
I mean, I guess you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not as good as it sounds.
All right. Are you sure we're broadcasting on Facebook?
You know what, Scott?
You were not.
Now we are.
Okay, now we are.
Yes,
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
if you're on Facebook this morning, thanks for joining us.
Oh, I did it again.
We decided to let you in.
You know, I think it's that when it crashed on me, it kind of threw me off.
That's why I said something before when we started, just so, like maybe something didn't work because we had a little crash. But we're good now.
Well, thank you, Scott. Sorry about that, everybody listening on Facebook now.
Right, they just switched to YouTube. It's okay.
Yeah.
A Boeing 767 aircraft is a collection of 3.1 million parts from 800 different suppliers around the world. Good luck.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. It's been determined that one brow wrinkle is the result of 200,000 frowns. So think about that the next time you make a pouty face.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I'm
getting there.
World's longest place name is 85 letters long. It is a hill in New Zealand. So the world's longest place name is 85 letters long. Doesn't say what it is. That is zero help to us.
Yeah, they're not going to tell us?
No.
You keep going, Scott. I'm going to find this.
Okay. Of the 25 million or so bags reported missing by U.S. airline passengers each year, 2 million are never found. Where did they go? Like where all the left socks are? And who gets that bag? Does it end up at like a dead bag thing, like the dead letter for the Postal Service?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, is there like do they just have a warehouse somewhere with dead bags? Do they put them in an incinerator?
They have like they've got a 5% theft rate by their employees.
Yeah.
That's the only other answer, isn't it?
Maybe. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe it's all the times you see them out there just pitching them into the airplane and they just miss.
Oh, that one went right into the engine. Oops. 1889, according to New York Times, there was a war on telephone poles. Wherever telephone companies erected poles, homeowners and business owners sawed them down or defended their sidewalks with rifles. 1889 sounds like 2020 and asking people to mask up. Wow. Angry over telephone poles. That's just like the people already out there doing conspiracy theories about the Baltimore Bridge. Can you please get life or go in and have a brain scan because something's wrong with you?
Or the telephone pole thing reminds me of the 5G folks at the beginning. 5G is spreading COVID and cancer. Like cancer might be legitimate, but you know.
Nobody listened to me when I said, it's okay, I'm blanketing Chihuahua with 24G. We are. So get over it.
Scott, again, don't tell them.
Now we'll be to blame.
The Chinese are listening, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Belgium has the highest number of castles and comic book artists per square kilometer in the world. What's the relation? I don't know.
Okay. That's
still waiting for the longest place with 85 letters long.
Yeah,
in New Zealand.
That is Chuma Watkatnaki Gangao Tame Turi Pukakak Kak Kip Pikim Kamangarong Nuku Pakawe when I Tayanatuhu. Wow. Do the locals even try to say that? I have no idea if I even said that even remotely correctly. Probably not. I think, Chuck, you were spot on. I'll play this for you. Perfect.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
He is.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Not my fault. It comes
Our
naturally.
last one out of 8 today. This is really slow and painful. Dr. Thomas Harvey removed Einstein's brain during his autopsy. For 30 years, Harvey kept it in 2 mason jars in his Wichita home. Why 2 jars?
It was too big to fit in one, Scott.
Oh, I'm guessing.
This is Einstein we're talking about here. The thing is, big brain or smart people, not so much big brains, bumpy brains. Bumpy brains is the determining factor, apparently.
Well, I think I have a 3-jar brain.
Who dares enter the sacred and awesome presence of the everlasting know-it-all?
I mean, it's a little morbid, but there's that little part in the back of my head that's like, oh, that would be cool. Sorry.
Wow. Not me. When someone came over to the house, I'd be like,
"That's not mine." I'm telling you, baby, that's not mine.
I don't keep jars of brains around or anything like that.
I mean, it's kind of awful to do that. It should be in some sort of science museum or facility, not necessarily a museum, but some sort of facility where they study these things or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he was going to eat it and see if he got smarter.
I hope they at least had permission of the family. Eat it and see if he got smarter.
I'm not going to tell him. I'm just going to keep this brain.
Right.
All right. Let's move on to weird associations with Chuck that you didn't know existed. We make fun of stuff like this all the time. The studies in the odd news. A new study says, well, here are some weird associations you didn't know existed.
The first one here is the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement. Actually, that one's kind of cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
The Association for Gravestone Studies. Okay.
That's kind of cool, though, like here in Maine, anywhere coming up the East Coast, because it's the New England states are the original 13, and we have got – that's kind of one thing we'll do sometimes is stop in a graveyard and try to find the oldest gravestone. We're into the 1700s. We haven't seen anything from the 1600s yet. But.
Yeah. I know when we go over to the East Coast and, the South and stuff, that's one of the best things to do is go to, the old churches and the old graveyards and stuff. There's some really interesting stuff. There's one in Tennessee we used to go to occasionally, and there were two gravestones right next to each other. They were brothers that were both killed in the Civil War fighting on opposite sides of each other. And one of them, said, "Here lies so-and-so shot in the back by a Yankee dog," or something like that. And then the other one was, I don't remember what it said, but the other one was his brother who was killed by a Southerner. So, and they were very clearly, it's just interesting stuff. And there's all kinds of stuff going back to I think the 1700s in that graveyard from some of the old original settlers.
All these years later, and we haven't learned nothing.
Yep. The next one here is the Association for Renaissance Martial Arts. That's interesting. The Association for Pet Obesity Prevention.
So that's a good one.
Yeah. The Association for Professional Basketball Research.
Wow.
Isn't that, we have that right here. That's Brandon Hansen. I believe he does a lot of professional basketball research all on his own. Okay. The International Association for Bear Research and Management.
Could be important.
I think that's kind of necessary, especially in outlying areas. The Association for Astrological Networking. Okay.
Which prompts me to say, what's your sign?
Is that what they do? They just go, they meet in conventions. What's your sign? What's your sign? What's your sign?
I don't know, but my mood ring just changed colors.
The Association of Camp Nurses.
Huh.
And I have a question about this next one. The International Association of Youth Hypnotists. Are these the people that hypnotize youths, or are they young hypnotists?
Oh, they're kids running around hypnotizing people.
Run away!
You'll get to see that at the Easter egg hunt.
When I was a kid, I tried so hard to learn how to hypnotize people, and I never could get it. It just didn't work.
These aren't the Easter eggs you're looking for.
And then you go around and get them all before the kids can. My candy. There's money in those eggs too, Scott.
There's no money in the eggs, Chuck.
Yeah. It is the American Association of Candy Technologists.
Ooh.
Count me in. And the Association for Dressings and Sauces.
Now, the Association for Dressing Saucy? Okay, but not. This is kind of sad, this next one, Chuck. We missed a big day on Monday. I think it might mean that we have to stop taking Mondays off. Monday was Appreciate Toilet Paper Day.
Yay!
Not to be confused with Toilet Paper Day, which happens in August. It's a big difference between the two. All right?
Ironically, I did get my mail order shipment of toilet paper on Monday.
Do you really get your toilet paper via mail order?
I do. It
Wow.
It actually started during COVID. I got one of these companies that does the bamboo like extra soft toilet paper. They were never low. They never ran out of stock all COVID. And the second thing started going haywire, we're like, hey, let's give them a shot, and never missed a beat.
Wow.
All the time people were fist fighting over the last roll of toilet paper in the grocery stores. We weren't hoarding it, but we were well stocked.
Wow. Super soft, you say, huh?
Yeah, it is really good stuff. Made out of bamboo.
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Well, I am kind of a big deal.
Yes, you are.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I get my toilet paper via subscription.
That's right.
Super soft.
It's
Bamboo.
great. It is great stuff.
All right. Well, then you won't be surprised or interested in any of the news that I have. About 83 million rolls are produced each day in the United States. One tree produces about 100 pounds of toilet paper. It's not much. Global toilet paper production consumes 27,000 trees a day.
Wow.
A lot of it made right here in Maine.
Wow.
Right. 2.4 billion worth of toilet paper is sold in the U.S. each year. Average American uses about 25 rolls of toilet paper each year. This is 40 to 50% more than the average of other Western countries or Japan. That's because we like to really wad it up on our hands.
I don't know. In our house, it also we have the bathroom toilet paper, and then we have the tissues that go around the rest of the house. And there's a roll by the couch and a roll on the nightstand, and
are they bamboo as well?
Oh yeah. Same.
Surprise!
A lot of people have the boxes of Kleenex around. We just have rolls of toilet paper laying around.
Nice.
It's cheaper.
Adds to the ambiance.
It does. It really does. Put a candle next to it. Not too close.
This is a really cheap, crappy thought. All right. Green Bay, Wisconsin has long been known as the toilet paper capital of the world because the first splinter-free toilet paper was produced there. The paper industry is still one of the area's largest employers.
I just don't want to think about the splinter-free toilet paper.
Yeah.
If that was the case, how did it ever catch on and be a thing?
Wow. There's so many questions that have now came to my mind about splinters and tweezers and
got a big one this morning.
Oh, wow. We have the Chinese to thank for toilet paper. Around 1391, a Chinese emperor decreed that the large 2-foot by 3-foot paper sheets must be made for his toilet time. Till then, people in China just use random paper products. Kind of like, I guess, here in America, we use the Sears catalog.
Right. Or that's where that left sock goes.
All right. Over or under, many an argument has started with which way the roll should be hung, the toilet paper coming over the top or under the back. There's even a Wikipedia page on the topic. Me, personally, if you have cats, you always do it, like most people say, like over the top. Mm-hmm. But is that right? Over the top? Yeah. Wouldn't that be over the top the way most people do it?
Actually, I think with cats under, because when the cat hits the roll, it keeps rolling back up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that they can't put it all out on the floor. And if you've ever walked into a bathroom where your cat has done that, it's kind of disturbing. It's like you filled the whole bathroom with toilet paper. That's amazing. I'm not even mad. This is going to save a lot of time.
I've seen there's actually the patent on the world's first toilet paper dispenser actually shows the roll of toilet paper going over. So technically the answer to the question is legally over.
Legally over.
Based on the first ever patent for the toilet paper roll dispenser.
Okay.
That doesn't really mean anything, though.
All right. How about Chuck taking over with some potentially life-saving tips? And I might need some of these.
Yeah. And these aren't really a joke. These are just good advice.
Can I make jokes?
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
Okay.
When calling 911, start with your location.
Always a good idea.
Yep, that's just what you do. Especially if you get cut off, at least they know where to start looking.
Yes.
Yep. Post on the internet like it could one day be read in court. And I think many of us have learned this lesson already in life. If we haven't, it's a good one to heed.
Yeah, and if you're holding your new gun in your Facebook post, probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Don't open the radio cap when your vehicle is overheating.
Radiator.
Yeah, is that what I said? Did I say radio?
You said radio, but
Well,
you don't want to do that if we're overheating.
Yeah, don't do that either. If we're blowing our top, just let us cool down. Don't try to drive through standing water. And that,
well, I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, there's lots of times, but have you ever seen videos of people driving down a street and there's like, say, a sinkhole or something that's full of water and the car just goes whoop right in it? Yeah.
I mean, I've seen floods where people are trying to get through a road that's been, covered with water, and there is a trick to it, but figuring it out is kind of tough. But you got to go exactly the right speed where your front bumper makes a wake like a boat, and that will keep the water from coming into your engine compartment. But if you go too slow or too fast, you're going to get stranded and be sitting on the hood of your car.
Oh,
or the roof.
We were driving one time with our RV, and rainstorm so bad we had to pull over. There was an underpass. We actually pulled under the underpass to get out of it. Raining too hard to see. There was a side street down sort of below the ground beside the highway in a local area, and it was flooding. There was like a flash flood that came through, and there was somebody in a van that was trying to get away from it, and they got caught in it. And it was quite a while we were there, and we watched the whole van get swept away and carried away. And it sort of tilted on its side, and rescue vehicles came, and they had to rescue the people that they had gotten like caught on something on the side of the road, but it was still flooded. And they had to do this whole rescue thing and climb up on the top and hook up harnesses. And yeah, it was scary. It was scary. It was a real deal. Okay, so assume the lights at the train tracks are not functioning. Do not cross until you can actually see that train is not coming.
Okay.
Yep. Treat every firearm as if it is loaded.
If you see me with a squirt gun, it's loaded.
Right. And, I grew up around firearms. My dad was a police officer and a firearms instructor and all that. And that was one lesson in my house that was drilled into us. Do not even treat it as if it was loaded. Every gun is loaded, no matter what. You just don't even question it in your mind. Every gun is loaded.
My dad must have been really secure in his firearms training with me, because I got my first gun and a box of bullets when I was 10, and I got to keep them in my room.
Oh, I don't think
people would freak out about that today. But yeah, I got my first shotgun, 10 years old, and a bunch of bullets, and I got to keep it in my room, take it out whenever I wanted.
I think I was probably about 12 maybe when I actually got a gun rack in my room with a shotgun, and I had a little
different
little 30-30 rifle, and I indeed had the rifle rack in the back of my truck going to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That could so not happen.
No, it could not. Probably for a very good reason. Yeah, I started shooting competitively at about 8 years old, skeet shooting and archery and skeet and trap shooting.
Wow.
At about 8 years old, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So don't handle injured wildlife.
Oh.
Yep.
Unless it's a cougar.
Right. And then you could just get them purring and they're fine. Rub their belly a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Especially if they're injured, because then they will want to come to you for help.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't mess with the garage door opener spring.
Yeah, that'll take your head off.
It will. And
Yes.
my time doing construction work and handyman work, I've had a couple run-ins with garage door springs, and they mean business.
They will shoot right through the roof.
Yeah, they're no joke. I've actually had one. I had to do a sheetrock repair in the roof because one embedded itself into the sheetrock in the roof of a garage.
I was talking to same kind of thing for your hot water tank.
Yeah,
something you don't want to mess with. And I was talking with the guy who was doing plumbing for me, and he started telling me a story about how he was working at one house, and he fixed their hot water tank, put a new element in it. And he told him, he says, your emergency release valve is bad, and you should replace it. But, it was another 30 minutes and price for the valve. So the guy was going to have to pay more money. And he said no. And the plumber said, at that point, I started packing up, and then I just started worrying about that hot water tank because it was in the basement below the kid's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And he says they can shoot like a rocket. So he says, I couldn't do it. I went down there, took the part, put it in myself because I couldn't leave that house with a bad pressure.
I saw an episode of Mythbusters once. They actually made one go through the roof of a house.
To prove that it's true.
Yeah. Same with car tires. If you don't do the right procedure when replacing, putting the new tire on the rim and inflating it, if you don't do it in the correct order with the correct procedure, you can actually that tire can become a projectile that will. I worked at a tire shop when one went through the roof. I was not doing the tires. My job was to clean the gas pumps and make coffee. But yeah.
So is that on the spinner thing? Is that what?
I don't remember exactly what part of it or what it was that makes that happen. But there's something about if you do it in the wrong order or if you don't release the pressure in the right way. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember that there was this loud bang and everyone came running to see if everybody was all right. The actual tire mounting, where they have the clamps that sort of like and lock over the rim.
Yeah.
The teeth on that were just shattered off, blown off, and there was a sunlight coming through the roof. It was like, wow. Nobody got hurt. I think there was actually a little bit of hearing damage to the technician that was working on the tire. But yeah, for a few days, his ears were ringing, but no serious injuries. Terrifying though. Terrifying.
All right. Scary stuff.
Right.
So all right. Easter around the world. Let's save this for tomorrow's show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I found it today, but let's do that as we're going into the weekend. Skip a little ahead and roommate horror stories. Me and Chuck going to go back and forth on these one. This was launched on social media, and we tried to pick out some of the scariest comments, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
First one, I had a roommate in college who was so offended by my lack of effort in college that he mailed me a handwritten letter to my parents before the end of their freshman year about how little I was going to class. Whoa.
Wow. In a way that's looking out for you. Probably doesn't feel like it at the time, but
no.
Trying to do what's best for you. My freshman roommate left so much of his stuff on the floor on the side of his room that he needed a running start to jump over it to get to his bed. Wow.
I had a story of someone close to me that had a roommate, and they said that if you open the door, the laundry was waist high all the way through the bedroom.
Wow.
And that in the 6 months they lived together, she never did laundry. She just went out and bought new clothes.
Wow.
I wish I had that kind of money.
I mean, I'm not great with my laundry, but that's a bit much.
Yeah.
I can at least walk to my bed.
Here's another one. It says, I had a roommate who was the dirtiest man I have ever met. He didn't do laundry for 6 months and would just rewear his dirty clothes. All right.
Wow, this guy here said when he occasionally left our dorm room, he would dress head to toe in camo, either to blend into the scenery or deter people from talking to him.
Ooh.
That would
do
it.
If you're all dressed in camo, people are going to kind of be edgy around you.
A little bit. Like, what are you up to? Yeah.
Oh, let's go. The one who didn't do his laundry for 6 months. I missed this.
Well, Stinky Pete, I think it's time you learned the true meaning of playtime.
The worse than stinky.
The last
stinky
one.
The last one. This is fun. This guy says he had a roommate who liked to strip near naked in the background whenever he was video chatting his girlfriend.
Wow.
Look at me!
I once, when I was younger, had a roommate. I went to make some purchases, and my card was declined, and I started getting overdraft notices to my bank. But I'm like, I knew I had money in the bank. I'm like, what is happening? I go to my bank account, go to my bank, and to see what's happening. And you can get pictures of photos of checks that you've written. And there were a bunch of like $600-700, like 3 or 4 of like these $600-700 checks over the period of a couple of months that have been written. And I'm like, what? Who? I never wrote these checks. I don't remember writing these. So I got pictures of them. It was clearly in my roommate's girlfriend's handwriting, written to him. He wrote them to himself. He had his girlfriend, because I had left my checkbook in my bedroom, and he had apparently rummaged through my bedroom, found my checkbook, and had his girlfriend forge checks to himself. Of course, he was immediately kicked out of the apartment. We had multiple roommates. He was kicked out immediately. And I was pressing charges, and his mom called me and begged me, please don't press charges. I'll go ahead and pay you back and pay all of your overdraft fees and everything for the everything that happened. I don't want him to get in trouble because he went over like the felony limit at the time.
Oh, I was going to say, just one check at $600 is over the felony limit.
Yeah.
Make it $70.
And he was apparently already in legal trouble, and she didn't want him to go to jail. So I agreed, and I said, okay. She said, well, give me your banking information, and I'll just go ahead and deposit the money. Found more money missing, taken by his mom. Yeah, his mom had hacked into my bank account and taken more money. So I then pressed charges on both of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here's the lesson learned.
Oh, is that what you want?
Yup.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get ants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know where he got it from, don't you?
Right? Yeah, that apple didn't fall far from that tree. It was horrible. Man.
That's one of the worst roommate stories I've ever heard. So, yeah, good job, Chuck.
I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I could put that out there.
Anybody steals my checks, I'm punching first and ask questions later, even if it's their mom.
Yeah. Unreal. And then later on, when Facebook became a thing, because this was like pre-Facebook, this was in the late 90s, he sent me a friend request. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, hey, I know we had a couple things, but we're cool now, right? No,
it was in the past.
No,
I
we're
don't
not.
secretly steal from people anymore.
Yeah.
I gave that up. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. On that very scary story, let's go ahead and go to break. When we come back, we'll have local birthdays, a little bit of history, today's goofy holidays, and wrap it all up with the odd news. But you got to stay right here on KCHW 102.7.
It's 8:20.
Programming on KCHW is made possible in part by listeners like you and by
Country Chevrolet. Country Chevrolet, located at 880 South Main Street in Colville, is a full-service Chevrolet dealership, offering a wide range of new and pre-owned vehicles with at-home mobile test drive service available. In addition, Country Chevrolet also offers maintenance and service, vehicle rentals, and full auto detailing. More information is available at countrychevy.com or by calling 509-684-8400. KCHW would like to thank Country Chevrolet for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, March the 28th, 2024. I'm Mike Clifford. A mix of policy updates and staffing boosts has helped to put wage theft enforcement on the radar in Minnesota.
Since Minnesota adopted a wage theft law in 2019, it has seen a handful of high-profile examples of state and local officials going after companies accused of shortchanging workers. Ramsey County Attorney John Choi feels Minnesota is starting to come around to the idea that these matters shouldn't just be resolved through civil penalties. He says there are some keys to taking the next step in seeing a wave of additional cases.
It's really doing the investigations and also making sure that we get referrals from other agencies who might be doing some of that civil enforcement.
Choi's office has hired a wage theft investigator. However, stakeholders acknowledge not all county prosecutors and sheriff's departments have such resources. I'm Mike Moen.
The Labor Advisory Council says wage theft is rampant among non-union construction activity. And former President Donald Trump attacked Robert Kennedy Jr., the independent presidential candidate, Wednesday, casting Kennedy as a liberal Democrat in disguise, while also seeming to back him as a spoiler for President Biden. That for the New York Times. They report that Trump pointed in particular to Kennedy's views on climate change and the environment, writing on his social media site. He is far more radical left than Biden, yet he professed support for Kennedy's campaign, claiming that Mr. Kennedy would likely siphon votes from Biden. I love that he's running, Trump said. And after 30 years of championing the rights of LGBTQ people, Equality New Mexico has its finger on the pulse of supportive legislation and has made its earliest endorsements ever for the 2024 election.
Executive Director Marshall Martinez says the advocacy organization has come out early for candidates he calls equality rock stars, those who have demonstrated proactive leadership in the fight for LGBTQ issues. He believes New Mexico and a handful of other states serve as models in supportive legislation.
Queer and trans people deserve to be happy and healthy in the community they live in. But until we can make that happen at the national level, we want to make sure that those in New Mexico can have that life and that other folks could consider coming to New Mexico for that life.
I'm Roz Brown.
The LGBTQ rights organization has endorsed 15 candidates for New Mexico's House and Senate seats and expects a second round of endorsements before November. Next from Yahoo News, Baltimore police said Wednesday they had found the bodies of 2 people killed when Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed early Tuesday morning. Authorities said 8 workers were fixing potholes on the bridge when the cargo ship Dolly lost power and struck it early Tuesday, causing it to collapse. 2 of the workers were rescued. This is Public News Service. We head next to Michigan, where the state recently implemented a significant juvenile justice reform package following recommendations from a task force made up of prosecutors, sheriffs, judges, and child advocates.
The reforms expand diversion eligibility, allocate state funds for programs, limit diversion periods to 3 months, and eliminate fines and fees. Jason Smith heads the Michigan Center for Youth Justice and emphasizes the shift towards rehabilitation, community-based alternatives, standardized policies, risk assessments, and the removal of fines and fees in the system. He says the new system is much more comprehensive.
If you don't serve a 10-year-old in the juvenile justice system, which we believe you shouldn't, what do you do with them? But they need services, what happens? And I think that what we will see over the next couple of years with the expansion of diversion and community-based options will answer those questions.
The major reform involved changing the Child Care Fund reimbursement model to incentivize local jurisdictions to invest more in community-based services. Farah Siddiqui reporting.
And a recent report examines how some rural Tennessee hospitals have managed to stay afloat despite financial challenges. The details now from our Danielle Smith.
The report includes interviews from staff at 5 different rural hospitals, which range in size from 25 to 125 beds. Judy Reutman with the Tennessee Healthcare Campaign says some of the hospitals are drowning in uncompensated care. She explains that as part of the research, they did a comparison interview with a CEO from a rural hospital in Kentucky who expressed the importance of Medicaid expansion.
Kentucky has expanded its Medicaid program and Tennessee has not. He said that's the key to our stability is actually having the funds coming in to treat these patients.
Reutman adds the federal government is offering Tennessee a 9-to-1 match. If Tennessee were to expand Medicaid, at least 330,000 people would gain access to coverage.
Finally, from our Joe Ulori, after years of trying and failing, Indiana lawmakers have successfully put bobcats in the crosshairs.
The decision forces the Indiana Department of Natural Resources to create the hunting season framework and ignited fierce debate among lawmakers, wildlife advocates, and hunters regarding the necessity and ethics of targeting Indiana's only native wildcat species. Samantha Chapman, Indiana State Director of the Humane Society of the United States, argues the bobcat population is still in the process of recovering.
It was very clear that the hunter and tracking lobby had a lot to do with this bill. Folks had even mentioned wanting to eat bobcats, which to me seems absolutely preposterous.
Chapman stresses experts need scientific data before targeting the wildcats.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Here's on interesting radio stations, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
No sound effects for this one. Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. I was waiting, Scott. I was waiting.
It was
You
a
didn't
trick.
hit me with it. Oh,
it was a trick. It was just a trick, Chuck.
Was it a trick or a test? Did I pass?
It was a test. It was just a test. And yeah, you passed.
Okay. If this was not a test, you would hear Scott screaming and me running around trying to put fires out or something like that. I don't know. No, that's okay.
So sorry. How about this one?
We are two wild and crazy guys.
There you go. I almost didn't make it back in time. I was adjusting the lighting in here. I think it's a little nicer, like a little different.
Yeah,
camera
you're a
angle.
little brighter than you usually are.
Yeah.
Now, if you could just zoom in on yourself.
Right? Oh, wait, here. I can. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Ready? Okay.
All right.
Oh, no, that's you. I zoomed in on you.
Nobody wants to see that.
I know. Nobody wants to. It doesn't matter. There we go.
So
No,
we're looking for some local birthdays so we can play the laugh track for a couple people.
I do have those, Scott. I have those right here. So
right.
there's a few of them today. We have Brett Berea, Drew Franks, Joseph, sorry, it's kind of hard to read these. Joseph Schultz. Sorry, Joseph. And Joseph. Okay, thank you. I have I have a lisp anyway, and my lisp really comes out on that one. And Pinky Graham.
All
there
right,
you go. Happy birthday, everybody. I'm
You
sorry,
know me,
Joseph.
love me.
I'm not making fun of your name. I'm making fun of myself. So
There you
there's
go.
that. Yeah.
All right. You know me, love 'em, see 'em around town, point and laugh, tell them we talked about them on the radio.
There we go. So really
All
quick,
right.
Scott, before we get moving forward, there's a couple of calendar items that we missed out on. I have them in paper here on the counter. One
Okay.
is tonight. This is 5:45 to 7:30. It is, where is it? This is at the New Health Colville Medical Center, located at 358 North Main Street in Colville. It is for high school students. This is a chance to meet professionals from their team, doctors, dental assistants, all the positions within New Health. They can explore all the different stations and learn about education and training needed for each role and discover what a typical day looks like for these roles. This is for students that are interested in going into the medical field after high school.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, so they can learn a little bit about it and learn about what's needed and get some information about which classes they need to enroll in college and what they can look forward to.
And with the shortage of healthcare assistants in a variety of fields, pretty much a guaranteed job when you get out. So
Exactly. And New Health, around here, they've been really building up some stuff. Yeah, they're gonna move into the old middle school.
Yeah.
And take that over and put in a medical campus there, which is kind of neat. And then Friday night at the American Legion, chicken fried steak dinner.
Yeah. Always fun.
I have never gone to one of the American Legion dinners, but I hear nothing but compliments about the dinners there.
And you do not have to be a Legion member to attend a dinner.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to go into the club afterwards, or maybe have a cocktail before your meal or something like that, you're going to have to buddy up to somebody who is a member and will sign you in. And then you can find out about what it takes to be a member.
Yeah.
All right. And you don't have to be a veteran. So like when I was in Chihuahua, I was a member, and they have a whole nother branch called Sons of the American Legion for people that maybe their parents were a service member, but they were not. That there's still ways to support.
Oh, cool. My father was a Vietnam vet.
All right. Let's see. Back to birthdays. We'll do a celebrity birthdays for today. Eric Idle from Monty Python. I don't like Monty Python movies in their entirety, but I love like segments of Monty Python movies that are just totally hilarious. But sometimes watching an entire one, a little rough.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite Monty Python movie?
Holy Grail.
That's pretty much the common answer. I think mine is Meaning of Life.
That's pretty good. A little hard to get through the beginning of that one.
Yeah.
but definitely some good clips in that as well.
I mean, I love them all.
So Eric Idle turning 80 today from Monty Python.
Very cool.
Brendan Gleeson, he is kind of came into his own as far as acting in the later part of his life. I just love him. Last thing he was in Banshees of Inisherin, 68. Marina Sirtis from the Star Trek TV show, and the films. She was the counselor. She's 68. Christopher Lambert, best known for the one movie, Highlander. All the other movies he did after that, not so good.
But he did that one.
66. I hated movies, and I've never really liked them that do time travel. I'm really into science fiction, but time travel movies always find something lacking for me, especially a movie that will go from past to present to future. But they did it through cinematography. They would be in Ireland and focus in on a rolling hill as they finished a scene, and the camera would go up over the hill and drop down the other side, and they'd be in modern day New York.
Yeah.
And something about that transition was the first time I enjoyed a movie with time travel like that, or time distinctions. Very, very cool if you've never watched it. A little old now, but and the reason why Christopher Lambert did so well in that movie is because they didn't let him talk.
What drives me nuts in time travel movies? You have a time machine. Where are the dinosaurs? Why is that not the first place you would go to see the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Even Doctor Who in 61 years never went back to see the dinosaurs. Come on now. There have been a couple of
danger.
There have been a couple episodes where dinosaurs came to present time. Doesn't count. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just my gripe.
All right. I'm going to start my computations for time travel.
There you go. I want to see dinosaurs.
Amy Sedaris, Strangers with Candy and The Mandalorian, 62. Supermodel Ellie McPherson, 59. Annabella Scuria from Law & Order, Criminal Intent, 59. Lucy Lawless from Xena and Parks and Recreation, 55. And here comes history with Chuck Ritchie.
I just want to ask, now that you got through that, Scott, are you on the right day?
I might not be.
Today is March 28th.
Oh, you know what? I am not on the right day. So do you want me to back up and do them all again?
Why not? There were some good ones there, though. I didn't want to stop you.
Okay, so those are the birthdays for tomorrow.
Okay, so you hear those again tomorrow.
All right,
we
Diane Wiest. Time travel. Yeah, there we go. I needed a sound effect for that. Should we just stop now?
Gentlemen, beam me aboard.
All right, Diane Wiest, not West, Wiest, from Mayor of Kingstown and Life in Peace is 76. Reba McEntire turning 69. Vince Vaughn, funny guy from True Detective, Freaky Friday, all sorts of stuff, 54. Former reality star Kate Gosselin, 49. Julia Stiles from the Bourne movies, 43. And Lady Gaga, a mere 38. Wow.
I would have thought she was older than that.
Yeah, me too.
She's just a baby.
Don't tell her we said that, though.
I know, right?
I expected you to be a lot older.
No, it's not because of that. I mean, she's been, such a staple in our culture for so many years. It seems she must have really gotten famous really young then, because she's been around a while. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So in 1973, Wilt Chamberlain retired from pro basketball. He played 1,045 games over 14 years. Wow. Very tall guy. I believe he fought Bruce Lee, correct? Wasn't that Wilt Chamberlain?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
In one of Bruce Lee's early movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's great because he kicks him in the chest and leaves a giant dirty footprint on his outfit. It's pretty cool.
That's great. 1979 in Pennsylvania, a pump in the reactor cooling system failed in the 3 Mile Island accident, resulting in the evaporation of some contaminated water, causing a nuclear meltdown.
Oops.
Ooh, yikes. 1983, Fred Jipp was sentenced to 28 years in prison in Phoenix for fraud and bigamy. In 30 years, he allegedly married 104 women in 28 countries.
Wow.
Man, I've been gypped.
That's amazing. I'm not even mad.
There's 103 women who were mad. Not that one, though. She was happy.
Okay. Just one.
Right. 1984 in the middle of the night.
That's about like my record.
Wow. Where was I? 1984, in the middle of the night, Robert Irsay moved the Baltimore Colts football team to Indianapolis.
Prompting people to say, where'd they go?
What? They were just here.
Uh-huh.
Not even a note. In 1986, more than 6,000 radio stations of all formats played We Are the World simultaneously at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's cool.
It is cool. And the whole concept of it was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with it is it's a horrible song. I mean, it is a horrid song, and they just keep redoing it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a big deal and an incredible idea. Could someone, and you put 30 artists together, could nobody have input to make it a better song?
Well, there were a couple of them especially that were just. I remember the videos, and I remember, you can still see them to this day when they would pan over. Was it Bruce Springsteen, or there was somebody like Cyndi Lauper and Bruce Springsteen were singing together, and they were just. It sounded like two cats fighting.
They're not good. They're not good. And the very first one, the audio quality was so poor. I mean, if you go into like our Christmas folder and pull like one of the newer ones and that old one from it, it was like they recorded it on a cassette.
Wow.
Yeah.
So kind of like my first couple of attempts at live broadcasts.
Yeah.
It sounded terrible. Sounded great right here in the theater. That's why you buy a ticket to the show.
My very first radio broadcast in college, the emergency alert system went off. And you can hear me. I forgot to shut off the mic. I panicked because I hadn't had that training yet. And at that time, nothing was automated. And I panicked, left the mic open. And the guy that was training me at college was out the back door having a cigarette because it was legal on campus. Mm-hmm. And you could hear me screaming for him in the background of my first show.
The first concert I had here, there was the opening artist had a backtrack, list of MP3s on a backtrack that ran through a computer through the board, went through the auxiliary, came straight into the soundboard here in the studio, out on the air, not realizing the auxiliary controls and the main controls run separately, and the computer volume, the backtracks, went up full volume.
Ooh.
Over the top of his singing. It just sounded like a distortion. It was awful. Awful.
That's horrible when you're running sound for somebody and you mess it up.
And I'm like, it sounded great. Even in the studio, it was kind of hard because I was adjusting the wrong volume. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Sorry then.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, 1995, singer Lyle Lovett and actress Julia Roberts announced they were separating after 21 months of marriage. It was a sad day for the world.
Rookie numbers.
Right? In 2003, Britain named Eric Bush legally changed his name to protest the U.S.-led war in Iraq. The 72-year-old who lived in southern France said he was ashamed to bear the same name as the U.S. president, that being Bush. He officially changed his name to Bisson, the French term for Bush.
Ooh.
So Eric Buisson? Buisson?
How to use shrub.
Shrub. Yes.
Shrub. Eric Shrub.
My name is Shrub. Yeah. The world's largest dinosaur print at 5.5 feet was found in Kimberley, Western Australia. 5.5 feet. You know, we think of these images that we have from kids as dinosaurs, and you think of like their footprint being like the size of a house or a shopping mall or something, and that's a bit underwhelming, actually, to me.
Yeah. It's only the size of your battery-operated car.
Right, there you go. It's that's why we need a time machine. We can go back and verify that there were in fact bigger dinosaur feet than that. I just saying, Scott, get on it. 2019, a study was published of a 71-year-old British woman who had a gene mutation that allowed her to never feel pain.
Ooh, if you're a family member, you'd always be poking her just to see.
Right. And I've heard about this. It is a condition that not many. It's very rare, but a few people have had it, and it's actually quite dangerous. Because
I bet you could really hurt yourself and not even know.
Mm-hmm. Or if you have an injury, you don't know to stop using it. You blow out your knee or something, you don't know, and you just keep going and you make the injury worse. So,
yeah, there's a thing where you can never feel pain because you don't have a heart.
Oh, not all of us are that lucky.
Usually only happens to presidents.
That's fair.
All right, special events today. These are our goofy holidays and serious holidays. Mm-hmm. First one, Children's Picture Book Day.
I like that.
So it's very cool. Black Forest Cake Day. I have no idea. Are they mixing ham and cake together?
It's with mashed potatoes for frosting.
Yeah.
Actually, that's making me hungry, Scott. No, a Black Forest cake.
That's what I'm thinking. Is this a possibility? Is this something we could concoct on our own?
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen meatloaf cakes with mashed potatoes between the layers of meatloaf, and then frosted with mashed potatoes all the way around, decorated with various condiments. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out what it's made out of. It looks like regular cake, so I don't see any ham in it at all.
Oh, that's disappointing. No, Black Forest cake. It's cherry and dark chocolate.
German dessert.
Yep.
Jawohl.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Hot Tub Day. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
We're gonna post pictures later in the day of Scott and I chilling in the hot tub together in our Speedos. Look forward to that one.
I don't want to say the next one now. Thanks a lot, Chuck. Followed by something on a stick day. It's okay if it's on a stick. Yes. All right. Respect your cat day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you just go around randomly picking on them, you're going to get scratched.
Right.
And it's a weed appreciation day, as in the yard pests we tried to kill, not the stuff that some of you smoke.
Some of you.
Some of you.
Wagging my fingers.
Well, it says here, the way it was written, it says the yard pests we try to kill, not the stuff we smoke.
Yep.
Okay.
It said we, not...
It said we, not us.
Yeah, of course.
Number for the day, Chuck.
32. Those are the seconds it takes the average person to pull out of a parking space.
And don't you wish it was just a little bit faster?
Right. Well, I've at the Walmart parking lot. It's at least in Colville. It's at least 3 or 4 times that. I saw someone do about a 20-point turn at one point. Enough room for 3 cars to go by, back and forth, back and forth.
And you were waiting.
It was me.
Couple nuggets of news before we go to the odd stuff. One New Jersey ticket is the sole winner of $1.13 billion Mega Millions After a run of 30 drawings without a jackpot winner, the 31st drawing of the multi-state Mega Millions game produced a single winner on Tuesday night, with one lottery ticket sold in New Jersey, matching all 5 numbers plus the Mega Ball. Lucky person. Powerball, Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot up to $865 million. The Mega Millions and the Powerball have been really shooting up there. Let's see. New York State is the home to the most Mega Millions jackpot winners, and probably due to their total population. 42 winning tickets sold in the Empire State. California follows with 36. New Jersey, Ohio, Michigan, Georgia, Illinois, Texas, and Maryland. Only states that have had more than 10 winning tickets sold. 18 states and the Virgin Islands have yet to sell a Mega Million jackpot winning ticket.
I'm just saying those people could fund this radio station for a very long time and never even notice the difference.
Yeah.
By the change that falls out of their pocket.
We need a millionaire philanthropist to support public radio. And if you're out there, call Chuck.
That's right.
And Chuck, if they say they want to, if you were listening on the first segment, Chuck, if they tell you they want to deposit the money straight into your account, they're lying. Okay.
Okay. I will not give them my bank account information. Put it in a check. Put it in a check. All
right. Any of those other stories grabbing your eyes there?
Not really. Well, I mean, this one actually, and I saw that they were actually hiring this position. Brandon Hansen was actually going to apply for it because never mind. So it says love hot dogs. Bet US is on the hunt for a dedicated wiener aficionado to travel to all 30.
And you're saying Brandon Hansen's going to apply for that?
Yeah. They're looking for someone to travel to all 30 MLB stadiums and rate the biggest dogs in baseball. From size to price, the chosen connoisseur will weigh in on the tastiest offerings. The lucky winner will
tell you right now, his wife ain't going to like that. 2 little ones at home.
No, he's just our resident connoisseur. The lucky winner will receive $2,500 in cash, a $500 MLB shop card, and a year of MLB.TV, plus all travel and game tickets covered. Applicants must be hot dog enthusiasts. They have to apply by April 18th. The wiener in chief will be selected by April 22nd, and then can go forth and measure and weigh and calculate girth for the nation's wieners.
He'd be great at that, actually, though. That'd be a good job for him. Yeah. He'd become a superstar.
His new title will be Brandon Hansen, Wiener Connoisseur.
All right. Getting adequate shut-eye, Chuck, can make you feel older than you actually are.
Wow.
Or inadequate. Let's say inadequate shut-eye. I did that wrong. All right, this is according to new research. A study from the Karolinska Institute in Sweden, Karolinska, found that poor slumber can tack on more than 4 years to how old you feel that day, while getting ample rest has the opposite effect, making people feel more rejuvenated and youthful. You've been getting better sleep, Chuck. Is there a secret to it?
Sheer exhaustion leading to the inability to stay awake anymore.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then you just got to crash for like 8 hours and you feel better.
Yeah, I guess just being sick and tired of being sick and tired.
All right.
I don't know.
Let's wrap it up right here. I'm just going to mention this because I think it might be something people don't think about. Mm-hmm. And it's a story that talks about the rubber ducky, the yellow bath time toy used to entertain kids. Those kind of things in your kid's bathtub, because you don't clean them often, contain super high numbers of bacteria and fungal species. Mm-hmm. And just kind of sending out a reminder that you should be disinfecting your bath toys for your little kids.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Can cause all kinds of skin issues and Yeah,
it says potentially pathogenic bacteria identified in 80% of all toys studied. Wow.
All right. You know, another big one is the disposable razors, or even non-disposable razors that you leave in your shower. They do the same thing. And there have been many cases of people getting like the flesh-eating bacteria and that kind of stuff from your disposable razor. You get bacteria on there, you accidentally nick your face while you're in the shower.
It's a good one.
Yeah, always make sure to at least clean them out as well as you can. Maybe, give them a swirl and rubbing alcohol now and then. And if they're disposables, replace them often.
My water-based toothbrush, I don't never trust those. because that water is, you can't get it all out of there, and I'm constantly cleaning it, like once a week, just because I don't think that's safe. And then you're trying to clean your gums and stuff, and you've got this thing with old water and maybe mold growth in the inside of it.
Water-based. Oh, you mean like a water pick type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's fire up that intro. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Boom, baby.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, wrapping up the day with news that's more foolish than me and Chuck. It's the news attack where we start. First sentence true, second sentence bad joke.
Yep. In Massachusetts, a robot dog was shot in the line of duty, making it the first time a really smart vacuum cleaner will get a Purple Heart.
And on the same day, a robot cat heroically slept 18 hours in one day.
Oh, that sounds about right.
What's your cat doing? What's your cat doing? It's charging.
It's charging.
It's charging.
When's it going to be ready? About this time tomorrow.
Yeah.
When it wakes up to eat before it goes back to bed. Next one, you or me, Scott?
Okay. You go ahead.
Okay. So a survey finds, Scott, that 7 in 10 of us would like to be a little taller.
I knew this would be best for you.
Yeah.
The way you said that, Scott, the way you inserted my name into it.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Because we're having a conversation. I'm addressing you, Scott, with the with the stories here. It is funny, though. No one ever says they'd like to be a little wider.
Scott.
Shut up, Wesley.
Seems like that joke he wrote was all about me.
Well, I may have inserted the name in there.
Okay. Right. You live in a red state, you're more likely to die early.
That's fair.
Which is probably why the golden arches are on the flags in most red states.
Thought it was the distinct lack of health care.
Yes.
Research shows that a spider can hear what you're doing from over 10 feet away. So you might want to step into the other room to roll up that magazine.
Yes. They can see really, really well.
You know what I like to do? And I've actually won money doing this before. Out at night with my headlamp on, make a bet that I can spot an individual spider from 20 feet away in the dark.
Really?
Yeah. And what you do is you have the headlamp on, and if a spider looks at you directly, their eyes glow green and sparkly. And you can see little sparkles in the grass. And then you can walk directly over to that spider and find it. And if you're ever walking around in your yard at night, you will be shocked at how many spiders are in your yard. They're like every 2 or 3 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Chuck's out in his yard at night, and the neighbors are like, "What is Chuck doing?" And the other neighbor says, "He's hypnotizing spiders."
That's right. I learned how. Not humans, but spiders.
Just spiders.
Yeah. I shouldn't have given away my secret on the air.
All right. A study found that regular marijuana users have 20% more time getting busy than non-users. Of course, that's mainly between video games.
Hold on, honey. I need a snack.
I did see in a study, they said it's the closest thing we have to an actual aphrodisiac. So there you go. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. A suspected thief in Florida helped himself to some convenience store goods and then became stuck in an air shaft. Turns out he shouldn't have eaten those Twinkies a little later.
Oh. You hear all the odd news stories about people getting stuck in chimneys and walls and air shafts, but yet they still keep trying.
Just stop, people. Didn't you learn anything from that Gremlins movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
According to a survey, people fear how they'll die more than death itself. The survey also revealed that public speaking is a greater fear than death. Next comes not having Wi-Fi.
That's just the worst.
It's the worst. All right, on to Wacky But True. We don't add anything to these stories, but clips from television shows and movies to wrap them up. And here comes Chuck to kick it off again.
So police went on a wild ostrich chase after the bird escaped from a zoo in South Korea. The runaway dodged authorities for about an hour, running down the middle of busy streets as he stopped traffic and turned heads. The ostrich's adventure ended 1.5 miles away from the zoo that he escaped from after police and firefighters joined forces to safely capture and return him.
It's just fun.
And there was a video set to the Benny Hill theme song.
How would you like to be a bird that doesn't fly?
Yes, it's a bird.
Those aren't big birds, sweetheart. They're giant vampire bats.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Are giant vampire bats a thing? I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either.
I think those are fruit bats, and they look like puppies with wings. They're adorable. I'm just saying.
All right. Real life game of hide and seek with raccoons. Yes, we've gone to the animals today. 9 raccoons are currently evading capture in the Netherlands after managing a daring escape from their newly constructed enclosure. Officials at the animal park were taken by surprise after a caretaker found only 1 raccoon present out of the original 12 that had arrived the day before. He was the lazy one.
You guys go on.
The raccoons were able to exploit a minor design flaw in their enclosure, allowing them to break free and scamper into the wild. Despite attempts to locate and retrieve the animals, only 2 have been captured, while the remaining 9 are still at large. Oh, wow.
This is worse than the time the raccoon got in the copier.
Well, the raccoon's trying to get on our back porch. Mama just chased him off with a broom.
Oh.
You know, I've thought this before. If humans suddenly disappeared from the face of the planet, the raccoons would be the next to take over. They are very intelligent. They have opposable thumbs. If you've ever seen them, they can manipulate things, use tools. Crazy. What's the word I'm looking for? Clever. Very clever animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very intelligent. Yeah. Great deductive skills if you've ever watched them. And now, I don't know what country they're coming from. I don't know if maybe it's legal in some states in the U.S., but tons of people on that Facebook Reels that have raccoons for pets.
I mean, they're cute. Yeah.
But
I fed a baby raccoon once, and it wrapped both its little paws and grabbed my fingers. It was drinking from the bottle. Adorable.
Oh.
Adorable. Their fingers feel like a really soft leather.
Oh.
Yeah, really nice.
Well, take us to China.
Yeah, in China, a woman thought she had a great way to scam a hospital out of a few $1,000s. After she had a surgery on her gallbladder, she swallowed a surgical swab and tried to blame the surgeons. But the hospital wouldn't offer her any money as compensation, claiming it was medically impossible for a swab that might have been lost in her gallbladder to travel to her stomach. After several failed attempts to sue the hospital, she ended up having to spend some more bucks for another operation to have the swab removed. You idiot.
It's what you get.
Oh, the irony of it. The horror.
And how does this relate to our discussion of the uses of irony?
Tragic irony or poetic justice?
Poetic
you
justice.
Tell me.
Poetic justice. Poetic justice. All right. Here comes a short one. Police in Brazil had an easy time catching a man suspected of driving under the influence. He was waiting for them in his car, where they said he had passed out in the driver's seat at the drive-thru at McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you?
Okay, what do you want?
Cheerios.
Cheerios. They don't got Cheerios. What else?
Lasagna.
I couldn't find a good one to go with that story, but that little girl was too cute. So
if McDonald's served lasagna, would you eat it, Scott?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, of course. That sounds delicious.
If you have not seen me, I will eat anything that McDonald's makes. My body is made up of 80% preservatives. I am never going to die.
Okay, that's fair. Then in Nashville man is the new Florida man. Case in point, this 30-year-old man, Michael Robert Jerzik, and his wife Natalia were stumbling around while pushing their 15-month-old baby in a stroller, nearly causing it to fall over the other night. Officers were patrolling the area when they observed this, so they went to speak with him when they noticed the Jerziks showing numerous signs of impairment and reeking of alcohol. Papa Jerzik was deemed unable to care for himself and his 15-month-old, and so he was taken into custody for child endangerment and public intoxication.
Wow. What was his last name?
Jerzik.
What a jerk.
Huh? I am not a bum. I'm a jerk.
Well, the jerk store called, and they're running out of you.
Last one here. German man was arrested for credit card theft after trying to buy $80 worth of beer and snacks at a gas station with a stolen credit card. A stolen credit card that happened to belong to the cashier.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, more irony. All right, when the cashier looked at the credit card, she saw her name on it, so she locked the man inside the store and called police. Way to go.
Wow.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you going to give us a break by zipping this credit card through the credit card machine? Come on, you can do it. Zip, zip. There you go.
What's the matter? Store wouldn't take your stolen credit card.
Committing credit card fraud.
Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay it back yet. Credit card debt. Tomorrow I may buy myself a dining room set or this Boba Fett. Credit card debt, credit card debt, credit card debt.
There you go. That's your odd news for Thursday. What's on the radio tonight, Chuck Ritchie?
Tonight we have from 6 to 8 p.m. Out of the Woods, 8 to 9 p.m. Kelton a Twist, and then from 9 to 11 is Acoustic Cafe.
All right.
There you go.
Don't forget also the food bank open today, beginning at 10.
Yep.
Right?
10 to 2.
And then line dancing at the Senior Center, 2:30 to 4:30. Both those happening today. Anything else, Chuck?
Don't forget about Chihuahua's Got Talent. You can go to chihuahuas.talent.com or kchw.org. Get your name on there. We've got sign-up sheets. We've got people signing up left and right, and we are getting things going, gathering money for the prizes for this contest.
And Chuck is still raising prize money.
Yep.
All right. And once we have called a stop to that, we'll announce, how much money for first, second, and third. If you're a business interested in sponsoring, or even a private individual, this is supporting the arts.
It is
supporting local arts, and a lot of kids get involved in this, and adults. So it's a great thing for the community. And if you would like to be involved and donate some prize money, just get a hold of Chuck, 509-935-6627, or give him a shout out on Facebook. He'll call you back. 509-935-6627 for our office line. All right. Anything else now, Chuck?
No, I think that about does it for me today. Is there anything else I should say?
Is
this a test?
This is a test. Goodbye.
All right, goodbye,
Thank you for tuning
everybody.
in this morning. Have a great day. It's Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW 102.7. Bye, Chuck.
Goodbye, Scott. We'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, baby, very good.
You too can use bamboo toilet paper like Chuck.
Well,
That's right.
hello, Mr. Fancy.
Makes it feel good.
We interrupt this program to annoy you and make things generally irritating.
It's 9